Hi, my name is Clay Jensen, and this is a package with 13 audio tapes in it that changed my life forever after I found it on my doorstep yesterday. The name of the person who made them was Hannah. Yes, her name was Hannah. 2 weeks ago, Hannah jumped down a bridge and killed herself. But before she died, she recorded those audio tapes. I am the 9th person who got these tapes. And 4 more people will still get this package with 1 audio tape personally dedicated to each of them. It's out of my control now. Today, in first period, at the front of the classroom facing the students, will be the desk of Mr. Porter. He'll be the last to receive a package with no return address. And in the middle of the room, on the desk to the left, will be the desk of Hannah Baker. And it will be empty. What?
Live and in stereo.
I hope you're ready because I'm about to tell you the story of my life.
But she's dead.
More specifically, why my life ended. And if you're listening to these tapes, you're one of the reasons why.
What? No.
The rules are pretty simple. 1, you listen. 2, you pass them on. Hopefully neither will be easy for you. In case you're tempted to break the rules, understand that I did make a copy of these tapes. And those copies will be released if this package doesn't make it to all of you.
This tape shouldn't be here. Not with me. This has to be a mistake. Someone made a copy and sent them to me as a joke. This has to be a joke.
I almost forgot. If you're on the tapes, you should receive a map. I'll be mentioning several spots around our beloved city for you. I can't force you to go there, but if you'd like to have a little more insight, just head for the stars. Anyways, ready, Mr. Foley?
Justin, you were my first kiss. There was something about you that made me need to be your girlfriend.
I don't know what it was, but it was amazingly strong. When you reach the end of these tapes, Justin, I hope you will understand your role in all of this. because it may seem like a small role now, but it matters.
Betrayal is one of the worst feelings.
Why am I listening to this? Because it's Hannah's voice. A voice I thought I'd never hear again. I can't throw that away.
We didn't share any classes, but after a while I managed to say hello. And a little bit later, you managed to say it back. It seemed like weeks went by before you asked for my number, and I was getting way too excited watching you writing it down. We kept hanging out for a while, and eventually, one day, we agreed to meet each other at the park.
I'll go there. 2 first on Hannah's map. But before that, I'll go to Tony. He owns a Walkman that plays tapes, and we're good friends, so I'm sure he'll let me borrow it. Because I can't listen here when Mom and Dad could hear our voice.
You probably think you already know the story that I'm about to tell you. You're all probably thinking, Hannah Baker is a slut.
But you're wrong. Hannah Baker is not, and never was a slut. Which begs the question, what have you heard?
There were a lot of rumors going around school.
That's the story. The whole story.
Okay, so who wants to hear my first thought during my very first kiss?
Here it is. Someone's been eating chili dogs.
Nice one, Justin.
I'm sorry. It wasn't bad, but it was the first thing I thought. And that's it. There's no need to go back, because you didn't miss anything. Let me repeat myself. That's all that happened. Why? Did you hear something else?
Yes, I did. We all did.
Then we left.
You went one way and I went the other. Sorry, isn't that what you heard? Well, what did you want to hear?
Because I've heard so many stories that I don't know which one is the most popular. But I know the least popular one. The truth. So, thank you, Justin. Sincerely. But a kiss?
A rumor based on a kiss made you do this to yourself?
No. A rumor based on a kiss ruined a memory that I hope would be special. A rumor based on a kiss started a reputation that other people believed in and reacted to. And sometimes it has a snowball effect. A rumor based on a kiss is just the beginning. Oh, and Justin, stick around. You're not gonna believe where your name pops up next.
Why did you give them to me, Hannah? I guess there's only one way to find out.
Clay,
Hey, Tony.
do you want to come in?
Yeah, sure.
So, how come you're here? Something to drink?
Yeah, sure.
Great. I'll be right back.
Okay. Well, since you asked, I got a bunch of tapes from a dead girl who killed herself. And apparently I have something to do with it. So I was wondering if I could borrow your Walkman and listen to the tapes.
I don't even have an excuse. Why do I need it? What am I going to tell him if he asks why I need it? What if he's on the tapes? Could he be the one who sent them to me? I can't ask him about the Walkman.
So, what's up?
Yeah, I know I just arrived, but I gotta go now.
Ready? Why?
Yeah, sorry, my mom called. She needs my help.
Is everything okay?
Yeah, don't worry, but I gotta go. See you in school, Tony.
Okay. See ya.
After I took Tony's Walkman, I started listening to the rest of Hannah's tapes. And I went to every single star on Hannah's map. You know, I learned one thing. Everything you do, no matter what, can affect another person's life and change it forever. For example, Alex, a student in our school, decided to make one of those who's hot, who's not lists. And from what Justin said about Hannah, he put her name first in the hot column. You probably think that's just a list, and that it can't be that bad, but for Hannah it was much more than just a list. Everyone in school saw the list, and since then, everyone treated her differently. It's impressive what one rumor and one thing somebody said can cause. Even Jessica, one of Hannah's best friends, believed the rumor more than she believed Hannah, and that she just stopped talking to her because of that. After all that, Hannah became more and more reserved and vulnerable. People like Conan and Zach, the next two names on the tapes, used this vulnerability and made Hannah's life even worse. The only place where Hannah felt safe and secure at that point was home, until Tyler, who's on tape number 6, started stalking her. And with that, Hannah's last safe space was gone.
I guess that's the point of it all. No one knows for certain how much impact they have on the lives of other people. Oftentimes, we have no clue.
Did you miss your train, Clay?
Oh. Hey, Skye.
You've been sitting here for almost an hour. You alright? You seem a little bit off today.
Yeah, don't worry, it's nothing.
Are you waiting for someone?
No, not really. My train should arrive in any second. But where are you going?
I'm not going anywhere. I just saw you here and wanted to say hello.
should leave and go to Taylor's house, the next star on Hannah's map. Or I could stay and talk with Skye.
So, see you tomorrow then?
Okay, yeah. See you. And that's it. The conversation is over. Skye's a pretty girl. She's in my class. But especially in the last couple of years, she dressed in loose clothing every day, almost burying herself within them. One day, she just stopped wanting to be a part of anything. It's been a long time since she spoke to me, or since she actually spoke to anyone at all. I should have talked to Skye more extensively, but it's too late now, I guess. That's it. Tyler's house. And it has a broken window. Is it because of the tapes?
You wanna throw something? Calm down, Clay, it's me.
What are you doing here?
Take it.
Why?
You'll feel better, Clay, honest.
Let me guess, Marcus. You're also on the tapes.
You won't be the first one saying no. You're the third one out here, plus me. The first one out here was Alex. He really wanted to join his other house. Back then I didn't know why, but he really wanted to know.
So it just gave him a rock to throw at his window?
No, I didn't know. I didn't even know that the tapes existed.
You know what? Fuck you, Marcus.
What?
You're also on the tapes, right?
So are you, Clay?
What makes us different from him?
He's a freak. He looked through Hannah's window, so why not break his?
And you? What did you do?
It's ridiculous. She just wanted an excuse to kill herself.
Get the hell away from me.
That's my street, Clay.
I also listened to the tapes, Marcus. And what you did is far more than nothing.
So, after you've published my poem, even my own thoughts were offered to the public. Very nice, Ryan. Thank you. You're a true poet.
Hey, Tony, what's up?
What is this for explain?
Is everything alright? Where are we going?
You're the 9th person I have to follow, Clay.
What are you talking about?
The second set of tapes. Hannah wasn't bluffing. I caught them. It's okay. Which tape do you listen to?
What?
It's okay. Wait, honest. Which tape?
Ryan's. The poem.
Can we walk while you listen to him?
Why?
I'm not joking, Clay. Listen to it.
Then answer my question.
Because it's about you. The next tape It's about you. It's okay. Hey. Listen to it.
To be honest, there was never the point where I said to myself, Clay Jensen, he's the one. I'm not even sure how much of the real Clay Jensen I got to know over the years. Most of what I knew was secondhand information. And that's why I wanted to know him better, because everything I heard, and I mean everything, was good. And like I said, I didn't know him very well, but my ears hurt whenever I heard his name. I guess I just wanted to hear something, anything juicy. Not because I wanted to spread gossip or anything. I just couldn't believe someone could be that good. I hope this tape won't stop you from digging for that deep, dark and dirty secret of his, which I'm sure there is. At least one or two of them, right?
I've got a few.
Clay, your name doesn't belong on this list. Not the same way than the others. But you need to be here if I'm going to tell my story. To tell it more completely.
Why do I have to hear this? Why didn't you just skip me if my name doesn't belong? I would have been happier never hearing this.
No. It would drive you crazy not knowing what happened to her. Besides, I think she wanted you to know.
Maybe.
When you mess with one part of a person's life, you're messing with their entire life. Everything affects everything. The next few stories are centered about one night. They're centered around our night, Clay.
The party.
And you know what I mean with our night. Because through all these years we've spent together, there's only one night we connected.
Tony keeps his eyes straight ahead. Does he want to avoid seeing me cry? Because he doesn't have to worry. I'm not. Not right now.
During one of my Clay Jensen gossip moments, I found out that you were going to be at that party. I mean, what? Clay Jensen at a party? No way!
I study on the weekends. In most of the classes we are tested every Monday. It's not my fault.
I just had to go there. That night I decided that walking would be nice, relaxing. We had a lot of rain that week. The air was warm too. My absolute favorite type of weather.
Mine too.
Pure magic. It's funny. Walking by the house to the party, it felt like life held so many possibilities. Limitless possibilities. And for the first time in a long time, I felt hope.
So did I. I forced myself out of the house and to that party. I was ready for something new to happen. Something exciting.
Hope? Well, I guess I misread things a bit.
And now, knowing what happened between Hannah and me, would I still have gone? Even if nothing changed?
But it was simply the calm before the storm.
I would, yes. Even if the outcome stayed the same.
I took a 3-block detour to my old house. The one we lived in when we first moved to town. I stopped walking and just watched it from the sidewalk.
another family in my house. I had no idea who they were or what they were like, what their lives were like.
The garage door opened and a silhouette of a man got in his car, backed down the driveway and drove off. Why didn't he stop?
Why didn't he ask why I was standing there staring at his house? I don't know, but whatever reason he had, it felt surreal. Two people, me and him, one house, yet he drove away with no idea of his link to me, the girl on the sidewalk.
And all of a sudden, the air felt heavy, filled with loneliness. And that loneliness stayed for the rest of the night.
His lack of interest in me was a reminder, even though I had a history in that house. It didn't matter. You can't go back to how things were, or you thought they were. All you really have is now.
Hey, Clay, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm coming.
Those of us on the tapes, we can't go back either. We can never not find a package on our doorstep. From that moment on, we're different.
And that explains my overreaction, Clay. And that's why you get these tapes. To explain.
Say, I'm sorry.
Does she remember that I apologized to her that night? Is that why she's apologizing to me?
It could have been anybody, except for one thing. Clay Jensen. By the time I got there, for everyone else, you were just a part of the party. But for me, you were the only reason I came.
With everything going on in my head and in my life, I want to talk to you. Really, just talk.
A chance we never seem to get at school or at work. A chance to ask, who are you?
We didn't get the chance because I was afraid. Afraid I had no chance with you. That's what I thought. And I was fine with that. Because what if I got to know you and you just turned out to be just like they said? What if you weren't the person I hoped you were? That, more than anything, would have hurt the most.
And as I stood in the kitchen, you walked up behind me. Hannah Baker, you said, and I turned towards you. Hannah, hey.
When she first arrived, she walked through the front door, and she caught me off guard. I turned around and ran straight out the back. It was too soon. I wasn't prepared.
I couldn't believe it. Out of the blue, you were there.
No, not out of the blue. First, I walked around the backyard yelling at myself, fully intended to walk home, but then I turned around, heading in straight for you.
I don't know why, you said, but I think we need to talk. And I agreed, with probably the dumbest smile plastered on my face.
No, the most beautiful.
And then I saw the doorframe behind you. And I remembered my mom erasing those marks from our old kitchen door. Getting ready to sell the house.
I saw that. I saw something in your eyes when you looked over my shoulder.
So we walked into an empty room. And what was the first thing we did? We set down our cups and started talking. Just like that. Everything I could have hoped for was happening. The questions were personal, as if we were catching up the time we let pass.
It was wonderful. I couldn't believe Hannah and I were finally talking. Really talking. And I did not want it to stop. I love talking to you, Hannah.
It seemed like you could know me. Like you could understand anything I told you. And the more we spoke, I knew why. The same things excited us. The same things connected us.
You could have told me anything. I would have stayed till you opened up and let everything out. But you didn't.
I wanted to tell you everything, and that hurt because some things were too scary, and some things I didn't even understand. How could I tell someone I was really talking to the first time? Tell everything I was thinking? I couldn't. It was too soon.
But it wasn't.
Or maybe it was too late. I was breaking. If only I would have talked to you sooner. We could have, I don't know. But things had gone too far by then. My mind was set. But then I went to a party. I went to a party to meet you. Why did I do that? To make myself suffer? Because that's what I was doing. Hating myself for waiting so long. And hating myself because it wasn't fair to you.
The only thing that's not fair are these tapes, Hannah. Because I was there for you. We were talking. I would have listened to absolutely anything.
Eventually, successfully, I spun the conversation around. No more heavy topics. We needed to laugh, and we couldn't stop laughing. And yet, the loneliness came rushing back. I wasn't alone. I knew that. For the first time in a long time, I was connected to another person. How in the world was I alone? So there you were, letting me connect with you. And when I couldn't do that anymore and switched the conversation to lighter topics, you made me laugh. And you were hilarious, Clay. You were exactly what I needed. So I kissed you. A long, beautiful kiss. And what did you say when we came up for air? With the cutest smile, you said, "What was that for?" To which I said, "You're an idiot." And then we kissed again.
An idiot. Yes, I remember that too. Amazing. We were together. That's what I kept thinking the whole time. And after talking with her for so long that night, I assumed it was just the beginning. Something happened between us. Something right. And I felt it.
Now, get comfortable. Because I'm about to tell you what happened between Clay and me that night. Are you ready? We kissed. That's it. We kissed.
Inside, I felt happy and sad at the same time. Sad that it took me so long, but happy that we got there together.
And that's when I thought of you, Justin. For the first time in a long time, I thought of our first kiss, and I remembered how you ruined it. I shut my eyes so tight, it was painful, trying to push away everything I was seeing in my head. Everyone up to that night. And I couldn't help that. What everyone thought of me was out of my control. Stop, I repeated. You started to talk, but I made you stop. I asked you to leave, and you stopped talking. You heard me. You got up to leave the room, but it took you forever to leave, to realize that I was serious.
I was hoping that you'd tell me to stop. To stop leaving.
My eyes remained shut, buried in the pillow. And then you were gone.
Why did I listen? Why did I leave her there? She needed me, and I knew that. But I was scared. Once again, I let myself get scared.
And then I slid off the bed and down to the floor. I just sat there beside the bed, hugging my knees and crying. That, Clay, is where your story ends.
But it shouldn't have. I was there for you. You could have reached out, but you didn't. You chose this. You had a choice and you pushed me away. I would have helped you. I wanted to help you.
When I got home, I wrote down one name after another. The names in my head when I stopped kissing you. And then I made the connections by passing names that didn't connect. Incidents all by themselves. My anger and frustration with all of you turned to tears and then back to anger and hate every time I found a new connection. And then I reached Clay. The reason I went to the party. I circled his name and drew a line back to a previous name.
Justin. She said his name would reappear.
That person already received the tapes, so just skip him when he passed them on. He caused a new name to be added to this list, and that's who should receive the tapes from you. And yes, Clay, I'm sorry too.
And I cried when I left the room.
You okay?
No.
You going to be okay?
I miss her.
I miss her too.
The thing is, really missed her until now. Everything that happened, I liked her for so long from far away, but I never got the chance to tell her. By the end of that night, it seemed like I knew her even less than before. But now I know. I know where her mind was set. I knew what she was going through. Thanks for listening to all that.
Welcome. I need to know that she will be alright.
What about you? Why did she give you the other set of tapes? What did you do?
Nothing. It's the truth.
Full story. What happened?
I've been trying to figure out how to say this the whole time we've been walking. She came over to my house and that was my chance.
Chance? For what?
Clay. The signs were all there.
So, she came over to your house. Why?
She came over to give me her bike. She wanted me to have it. And when I asked for a reason, she just shrugged. She had none. I was the only one she could think of who might need it. There were enough signs, and I missed them. I'll never forget this. Her eyes, Clay. They just never looked away. She just kept staring straight into my eyes and started crying. I should have done something. Signs were all there, all over, for the people willing to notice. And I did nothing. And then she asked me if I have something to record voices. I didn't ask why.
So, you just gave your Walkman to her?
I didn't know what she was going to do with it.
I'm not accusing you. She wouldn't have told you.
A few days later, when I got home from school, there was a package sitting on my porch. And I took it up to my room and started listening to the tapes. But it didn't make any sense, because Hannah and I had a period together and she was at school that day.
What?
I went through the tapes as fast as I could to find out if I was on them, but I wasn't. That's when I knew that she had given me the second set of tapes.
I called her house. I asked if Hannah was there. Her parents asked if everything was alright because I'm sure I sounded crazy.
And what did you say?
I told them that something was wrong and that they need to find her, but I couldn't make myself tell them why. The next day in school, she wasn't there.
I remember the last time I saw her. We bumped into each other on the hallways in school, and together we said it.
I'm sorry.
The last words she said to each other. And then she looked up. She saw me. And there, in her eyes, what was it? Sadness? Pain? I watched her walk away. I stood there and watched her disappear forever. So why did she give them to you?
I don't know. Maybe because I gave her the recorder. She probably thought I would play along.
You're not on them, but you're still apart.
I've gotta go.
I didn't mean anything by that, honest.
I know. But it's late. My dad probably starts to wonder where I'm at. Where are you going to go?
I don't know. We'll see. Thanks. Honestly. Thank you. And when I say it, I mean it for more than just the walk. For everything. It feels good knowing someone understands what I'm listening to, what I'm going through. Somehow, it makes it not as scary to keep listening.
One last try. I'm giving life one more chance. And this time, I'm getting help. Because I cannot do this alone. Of course, if you're listening to this, I failed. Or he failed. Only one person stands between you and this collection of audio tapes. Mr. Porter.
What? No! I don't want him to know about this. Not about me. To bring an adult into this, someone from school, is beyond what I have ever imagined.
Ah, Hannah, glad you made it. Come in.
Thank you.
Sit here. So, Hannah, how can I help you? What would you like to talk about?
I don't know. Everything, I guess. That might take a while.
Hannah, it's okay. I've got as much time as you need.
Well, everything's hard right now. There's a lot going on, and I don't know how to sum it all up.
Why don't we begin with how you're feeling today?
Well, today I'm feeling kind of empty. I just don't care anymore.
About?
Make her tell you. Keep asking questions, but make her tell you.
About anything. School, myself, the people at school.
What about your friends?
You're going to have to define friends if you want an answer to that question.
Someone you can turn to when...
And I don't have any. That's why I'm here.
And I'm glad you're here, Hannah. How can I help?
I guess I don't know. I just needed to stop.
You need what to stop?
I need everything to stop. People, life.
Hannah, do you know what you just said?
She knows what she said, Mr. Porter. She knows every word that comes out of her mouth.
Is that what you meant to say, Hannah? Those are very serious words.
She knows they are serious. Help her.
I know they are. I'm sorry.
Don't apologize. Talk to him.
I don't want my life to end. That's why I'm here.
It's one thing on top of another. It's too much, isn't it? Let's talk about school, Hannah, so I can get some idea how you got to this point.
Okay.
When you think of school, what's the first thing that comes to mind?
Well, I do learn here, but that's not what school is about for me.
Then what is it for you?
A place? Just a place filled with a bunch of people that I'm required to be with.
And that's hard for you.
It's hard to explain unless you've heard some of the rumors about me.
I haven't. Teachers tend to get left out of students' gossip. When was the last time a rumor popped up?
See, that's it. Not all of them are rumors.
Okay.
No, listen.
Please, please listen.
At a party, I swear, one of the worst nights of my life. But it wasn't during the party, it was after.
At this party you mentioned, are we talking about a boy?
Yes, but again, it wasn't during the party.
I understand that, and I'm not going to judge you, Hannah. But did anything happen that night that you regret? Did anything happen that night that might be considered illegal?
I don't know,
Why don't you know?
because there were circumstances.
Are you thinking of pressing charges?
No, no.
Then, what are your options?
Tell her, Mr. Porter. Tell her what her options are.
What can we do to solve this problem, Hannah? Together?
Nothing. It's over.
Something needs to be done, Hannah. Something needs to change for you.
I know. But what are my options?
Well, if you will press charges, then you have two.
What? What are they?
She's putting too much hope in his answers.
One. We can call him in here to discuss what happened at this party.
You said there were two options.
Or two. Hannah, you can move on.
You mean do nothing?
Look, something happened, Hannah. I believe you. But if you will confront him, you need to consider the possibility of moving beyond this.
And if that's not a possibility, then guess what, Mr. Porter? Because she won't do it.
Move beyond this.
Do you want me to move beyond this?
It's not a question, Mr. Porter. Don't take it as one. She's thinking out loud. It's not an option because she can't do it. Tell her that you're going to help her.
Thank you, Mr. Porter.
No.
Wait, you don't need to leave.
Don't let her leave that room.
I'm done here. I got what I need from you.
Don't let her leave.
I think there's more we can talk about, Hannah.
No, I think we figured it out.
No.
Hannah, I don't understand why you're in such a hurry to leave.
Because I need to get on with things. If nothing's going to change, then I'd better get going.
Hannah, what are you talking about?
I'm talking about my life, Mr. Potter. I'm walking down the hall. His door is closed behind me. He's letting me go. I've made myself very clear. And yet, no one's stepping forward to stop me. A lot of you cared. Just not enough. And that's what I needed to find out. And I did find out.
Sorry.
Thank you.
I fight every muscle in my body, begging me to collapse, begging me not to go to school. But no matter when I go back, the fact remains I need to face the other people on the tapes. If I sit there in first period, the only place I can imagine looking is the empty desk of Hannah Baker. People stare at the desk all the time, but today for me, it's profoundly different than yesterday. How many times did I stand here, thinking I would never get a chance with Hannah? I had no idea how she felt about me, no idea who she really was. Instead, I believed what other people said about her, and I was afraid what they might think about me if they knew I liked her. How many times after the party did I stand right there when Hannah was still alive, thinking my chances with her were over, thinking I said or did something wrong, too afraid to talk to her again, too afraid to try. And then, when she died, the chances disappeared forever. Right there, outside this door, is where I last saw Hannah Baker alive.
Sorry.
Alright, Clay, time to save for class, huh?
Yesterday at the railway station, I left without talking to Skye. I wanted to talk with her. I tried to. Part of me wants to ignore it. But Skye's walking down the same hall where I watched Hannah slip away 2 weeks ago. And that day, Hannah disappeared, along the tapes to say her goodbye. But I can still hear the footsteps of Skye sounding weaker and weaker the further she gets.
Are you coming or what?
I passed Sarah and the open classroom door. A flood of emotions rushed into me. Pain, anger, and sadness. But most surprising of all, hope. So I kept walking. I caught up with Skye and behind her, I said her name.
Skye.
Thank you, Hannah. Moin. Ich habe keine Ahnung, wie man sowas anfängt. Deswegen, ich sag's jetzt einfach mal auf Deutsch, weil es so schon schwer genug ist. Es ist gerade 22:41 Uhr. Der Film ist so ungefähr fertig. Muss noch rendern. Wir haben ja gesehen, ob es geklappt hat oder nicht. Ich hoffe, es hat geklappt. Ich nutze das Video einfach mal, um Danke zu sagen an alle, die jetzt bei dem Projekt geholfen haben, die nicht in der Gruppe waren. Das heißt, zum einen jeder, der mitgespielt hat oder anders geholfen hat. Besonders Adri und Max. Erst Max, Dankeschön, dass du Tony gespielt hast. Danke, dass du dich in die Lederjacke gezwängt hast und in der Sonne gelitten hast. Selber schuld, aber trotzdem, danke, dass du auch immer Zeit, also du hattest wirklich immer Zeit, wenn wir was machen wollten. Und das war schon sehr wichtig, weil es zeitlich dann doch eher sehr knapp wurde. Ich frage mich, warum. Vielleicht ein bisschen zu viel geschrieben, vielleicht zu viel Skript für so ein Englischprojekt, was nur eine mündliche Note gibt. Naja, danke auch an dich, Adri, dass du dich bereit erklärt hast, Hannah zu spielen. Was jetzt nicht gerade so eine kleine Rolle ist. Und wenn man bedenkt, dass du nicht in unserer Gruppe bist, dann war das schon viel mehr, als hätte irgendjemand verlangen können. Und deswegen 15 Punkte in Englisch. Das ist an Sie gerichtet, Frau Fernbacher. Also ich denke, Sie wissen, was Sie tun müssen, ne? Und du kriegst noch einen Kuchen. Ach fuck, jetzt will ich wirklich einen Backen. Sonst noch, Nive, danke, dass du einmal Kamera übernommen hast. Als wir niemand anderen hatten, wegen Zeit. Danke an Karo, dass du übernommen hast, Skye zu spielen. Sind am Tag nach der Impfung einfach trotzdem noch gespielt. Das war, ja, muss man auch erstmal hinkriegen. Wer hat noch mitgespielt? Sabrina. Dass du diese, auch wenn es so eine kleine Rolle ist, danke, dass du die übernommen hast. Und natürlich an M.Sutmöller, stimmt, den hätte ich fast vergessen. Der wäre ja auch noch dabei. Dass er sich einen Mittwochnachmittag geopfert hat, um diesen guten Vertrauenslehrer zu spielen, der noch Englisch unterrichtet und Englisch sprechen kann, obwohl sie nicht Englisch sprechen können. Deswegen, ja. By the way, falls ihr sie nicht... Oh, übrigens, Anastasia, falls ihr sie nicht gesehen habt, man hat ihren Hinterkopf gesehen in der Bahnszene, also kleines Easter Egg, genauso wie das Easter Egg mit der Who's Hot, Who's Not List, also hat jemand bemerkt? Oh, und ja, das Buch, was Karo hat fallen lassen, das war 13 Reasons Why, auch so ein kleines Easter Egg. 3 Stück, ich glaube es waren noch mehr, aber ich habe sie irgendwie alle vergessen. So, jetzt hoffe ich einfach mal, dass das geklappt hat mit dem Film vorzeigen. Und,